Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
It's that time of year again to bring the HBCU energy. Target has you covered from a range of Black-owned or founded products alongside impactful opportunities to support and invest in the next generation of HBCU excellence. Whether it's homecoming or brunch with the girls, add an exclamation point to the menu with Ghetto Gastro's waffle mix and syrup and Slutty Vegan's tasty dips. Even better, make it a party with fun games like Lyrically Correct and Culture Karaoke. Discover more ways to tap in with Black-owned or founded products for your next social gathering. And oh, by the way, did you know Target is bringing back the HBCU Design Challenge? A creative competition pairing HBCU students with Target mentors. Keep an eye out for Target Scholars as well, a scholastic program offering financial assistance and internship opportunities for HBCU students.
Hey, so I heard from a little birdie that Illuminating Intersectionality is coming back.
Oh, yes. It's me. So Illuminating Intersectionality Season 2 is coming back. We just got out the studio, actually. It is hosted by a friend, Franiqua of Hey Friend Hey in the Friend Zone podcast. It is hosted by Dr. Takia, who hosts Getting Grown alongside myself, Chef Jade. And we each essentially host an episode, and the foundation of this conversation is HBCUs. So we come through the lens of intersectionality, and we talk about, Kia talks about unsung women in the HBCU spaces. Fran talks about the foreign-born experience and how that ties into the HBCU experience because, you know, the diaspora. And then, you know, I came through with food and culture and got a lot of really good vantage points. So it drops homecoming week, and I'm very excited for you all to hear all 3 episodes. Everybody produced their own episode, wrote their own episode, did their own good research, and it's like really good information across the board.
Well, I can't wait to check it out. So make sure you all lock in with Target this homecoming season and beyond at target.com/blackbeyondmeasure.
In a suspension like a sports car, Shanta got big legs like handlebars. Put it on Tim like a porno star. Run back the tape like a VCR.
I'm coming, baby, like the big black kahuna. I wish it would have humped me just a little sooner. Now I'm rich like Silver Spooner. Now here's the finger, now I got the munya. I wish it would have did that 2 years ago. Go. Let me feel the body hit the skins, yo. Now you see your brother make a little dope. I really hate the mess, but I love you, yo. Take it away, XD.
Ooh, whoa ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha. Ooh, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha. Ooh, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha. Ooh, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha.
Oh, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha. I'm having a stroke.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Give it up, food for pop. Give it up, food for pop.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Blackest Show About Nothing. Is Jade and XD.
Stupid.
Because when you're doing it, the whole time I was thinking like, oh damn, it does sound like she's having a stroke. What's happening?
She's glitching. She's glitching. She's glitching.
Black cat, there is a glitch in the Matrix.
There is a glitch in the Matrix. I wasn't going to do this anywhere, actually. I was going to completely not even act like it existed. But there's a glitch in the fucking Matrix. And the glitch is Jada Pinkett. I'm sorry. Oh, let me leave that lady alone. Y'all don't have to read the book. I'm not reading it. Y'all don't have to read it either if you don't want to.
Now I'm going to. You know why? Because this is all of our relationship now. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
What do you mean?
No, because I thought about this a lot.
I have something to interject.
Right. Because people be like, no, leave us out of it, leave us alone. Where inherently, yes, you want to say that, but no, because they are so insistent on including inclusion
the wrong type of inclusion. The wrong type of inclusion.
You got to be specific in the type of diversity.
You do, nigga. I don't always want to be included. Half the time I don't.
No, I don't. Me either. But like, since we all apart, and I don't like, why are you apart ass nigga? But like now that we are all apart.
Yeah, we apart ass niggas. So
now I need to know.
Nigga, we bonded, nigga, like Gorilla Glue.
Okay, that's our nigga, okay?
Or these is our niggas because all of them, everybody. I didn't know what a Cena's was. I didn't, Tupac, I've always known him in a different light. I love seeing a different side of somebody. And
I love when niggas turn the leaf.
I do. I love seeing the leaf turns. Oh, this is actually just funny to me. The whole thing is just...
it's so bizarre. It's so bizarre.
Have you noticed they have never let that nigga rest? They've never let that nigga rest.
Willow?
No, Tupac.
Oh.
No, Willow took her rest after she swung her hair back and forth and said, "Enough."
No, but then her mama had her up on just saying, "Wow," just up here lying in front of Gammy.
Who we always fuck with, by the way. The red table
the long
talk
way. Happy
go.
birthday, because her birthday was this week too.
Happy birthday, Gammy, a Libra queen.
And then your daughter spawns a nuke on the entire world.
Noah's impact, her influence.
And like, damn, can't even enjoy her birthday like that. Her man got her a new car and everything.
Damn.
I follow Gammy on the gram.
Oh, Gammy got a man?
Yeah.
What's he like?
I don't actually know. I recently started following her.
Oh, okay. All right. No, we fucks with Gam. We fucks with Gam the long way. Jade is just, she's just different. She's just different. That's all.
Yeah, like, she's no different than who she was on A Different World, Can I be on?
What are you about to say?
Maybe I should wait until
I don't know.
After.
No, I think I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
I need to. No, we have to wait till after.
Text it to me. Text it to me.
Antithesis of our bonus episode that you all should go listen to.
I knew that's what you were gonna say. You get out of here, you. Oh God, how was your week?
Oh, it was good. I am so proud of Dr. John Paul and Joho.
Oh,
they put on an amazing live show. And it wasn't amazing just because I was featured in it, but it was Shar and Tre'vell and myself on a panel with them two, just really just in their element. Like, you can tell a lot. And Dr. John Paul was like, a lot of people can say they don't have live shows to their credit, which is true.
This is also, yes, very much so.
But it was a good time, and everybody came out, and a good job for them. I think the live episode version comes out at some point. So
okay,
it was a good time.
Congratulations, love you doves. We are very proud of you all.
Yeah. Let me see what else happened this week. It was a pretty decent week.
Mm-hmm.
I told you about my auntie experience. When did I tell you? Was that last week?
Mm-hmm.
I'm all these days running together.
I know. They just blend like the colors of the wind. Yeah,
I don't remember what else happened this week. But if something comes up, I'll let. I know I watched, because I didn't get to tell you about The Golden Bachelor, did I?
I don't know.
No. Okay. Well.
Does it involve pee?
No, I did tell. I feel like I told you when we recorded earlier about how it's like Flavor of Love.
Yes. Okay. Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Other than that, my week has just been work filled. That's all. Nothing.
It was something you said you were going to talk about on the main show.
I know. And I meant to, did you write it down? I meant to write it down.
I didn't. And I should have.
And I knew it was a rant in my spirit.
And you told me. It was very like Mad Men secretary. Take a note. And I meant to. And I
didn't mean to.
No, it's fine. I laughed. You're like, write this down. It's a very me thing to do. So.
But how was your week?
It was good. Happy belated birthday to Antoinetta.
Yes.
So we went out and celebrated her birthday. Had my cousin's birthday the same day, a children's birthday party, which, oh my God, nothing is more awkward than like a bunch of parents who don't know each other, don't have nothing in common. At a children's,
but the kids be best of friends in 5 minutes or less.
Kind of. It depends on the large. It's a large. See, it's interesting when you do like this was our cousin, but then she's got her school friends. Then she's got, so it's like such a mix of. It's like, okay, who are you to this person? It's funny to watch kids in their little territory. But the parents, the parents, I went up to my cousin. I was like, shout out to you for engaging, for doing all this shit. Cause I've never done one with the school friends. I've never done the school friend's birthday. And I think I'm aging out of the point where I will have to. So that might be something that I avoided in life, which is nice.
Wait. No one's never had like school friends that like over?
Oh, well, okay. I told you about the first play date that we ever had a couple years ago with the one little girl who she's no longer friends with and who I do not like. I don't like her or her mother. I don't. And they know it. The little girl was scared of me. Remember when I went to school, the little girl lied on me and said I threatened her. And I was like, are you fucking serious?
Yes.
So does her. With like and then her mother, they left the school, but the school is small. So when they had their play, their last play last year, they showed up to support. And who's the first person they see when they walk in the lobby of the theater? Hello, it's your girl. And when I tell you, them two boomerang to another location so fast.
Oh my God.
It's like, bye, pumpkin. Bye, pumpkins. I don't care if you're 8. So there was that first play date where she came over with her mother before they became enemies. And then her other little friend who ended up moving away, her father, that was the one where the little girl was like, my dad smokes glass cigarettes. And I was like, yeah, okay, nigga, I know what time you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where we found that camaraderie. Then she's got a friend now who comes over, she comes over, but her mother's also a teacher at the school and she's Tristan's co-teacher. So they already have like a rapport and I have a rapport with her. So She's cool. She's fine. But I was blessed to have a child born in the summer, who therefore the birthdays happen in the summertime, and I would then have to stay in touch with a parent in order for them to come. But it'd be more like, damn, I don't have their number.
See, this is the advantage of being a millennial parent, because millennials don't talk to their neighbors, so therefore they don't. So, which is bad, guys.
It's terrible. I talk to my neighbor. We talk to our neighbors.
I don't know who our neighbor.
I talked to the lady across the hall, and then Tristan and Noah talk. I don't really see the ones right next door, but Tristan and Noah see them more often. The little boy's name is Noah too. So like they'll chat. I chat with the lady across the hall because we both order like this from the same clothing companies and stuff. So she started taking my packages if I wasn't here, and she'd be like, I don't want nobody to take this. I'm like, good girl, because you know that costs $108 for that shirt. So I talked to her. There's a lady down the hall who they left one of my packages at her door. So like we chat now. No, we chat with a couple people on our floor. There's a little raggedy ass couple, but they just left. Thank God. See, now I'm at that age where I'm like, get those young people off this floor.
Yeah. Now that I come to think about it, because our floor is very large. So like I directly across the hall, I do talk to the black family, because I was like, oh, black people. I'm not used to that in Los Angeles.
Oh.
You know?
Oh, yeah,
yeah. Because, you know.
Mine is all black. If you're not, then it's like, what you doing here? Where you come from? Is our building changing?
Are they raising the rent?
I'm like,
My mansion sitting on 40 acres. Who the neighbors? Kobe Bryant from the Lakers. Now that's paper. Kobe Bryant from the Lakers. Now that's paper. Kobe Bryant from the Lakers.
But yeah, we chat with a few of the neighbors. Like, it's good to know. It's good to. And then there's a lady who be downstairs always waiting for the accessorize. So me and her be chatting. Like,
yeah, we have friends in the building too, so it helps. So, but you know, otherwise, but in general, millennials don't talk to their neighbors. So I can imagine unless if you're like a helicopter parent, you know. I can't imagine having like just friends over or whatever, because that requires way much more responsibility of having another life in your home.
I can't imagine having neighbors over. Such a strange concept to me. Like, what? You want to come inside? What you mean?
Growing up, we had his name was Bob, which is so funny. He was Bob, and he was a white man. But he was a very pleasant white man. Okay. And he still lives there. He still lives there, actually. Okay. But you know, it could have went another way, because he's a F-150 type. Mm-hmm. But he was very he really liked my mother and my grandmother. And so whenever there was like any type of issue, he would come and like be protective, you know, because he knew it was, you know, two single women raising.
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
Sissy.
That's
you know?
Okay. That's
the hood knew
nice.
I was soft now. You know,
I know, they're like, you know, the little boy down at 403,
exactly.
The one who be sashaying down the street.
Exactly.
It's always some problematic black person. Some opinion.
I was 12 with a messenger bag, girl.
Stop!
I was talking to my mother the other day about how, because Frasier returned and stuff like that. And she was like, you know, your show is back. I was like, yeah. And she was like, do you remember what you asked me for Christmas one year? I was like, yeah, and I got him. It was a martini set. Knowing damn well I couldn't drink.
You wanted a
And I got it. Yes, I did. I got one.
The fact that she bought that for you is so ridiculous.
And then my grandmother gave me a Di Serono cup set.
I will say, when I was 12, I begged my parents. I mean, when I tell you begged them for a George Foreman grill, I was obsessed with the George Foreman infomercials.
Me too. And we got one, and it was the greatest thing since sliced.
Oh, see, we got one, and I was like, oh, this is mid. I don't like these wet burgers.
This is my George Foreman family-sized grill that sears...
No, it isn't. It's my George Foreman griddle that cooks pancakes.
No, It's my George Foreman bacon oven, and it's making pizza. No. It's actually my omelet maker that makes delicious. No, it isn't. It's a grill.
I was like, there ain't no chart of this shit. I don't like it. But them infomercials, between that and the Jack LaLanne infomercials, where he would, that nigga would juice a whole apple.
Of those juicers so bad. Oh my gosh.
Let me tell you what else happened to me this week. So, Antoinette's birthday, the children's party, went to a Caribbean baby shower. Shout out to Zay. Zay was one of the producers on Black Kitchen series, and she's pregnant.
Oh, hey, Zay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Zay. I went to Zay's baby shower. Okay. And then, next day.
Oh, you got good food. Damn.
Oh, baby, they had chana.
There's baby shower food, and then there's like Caribbean baby shower food, which is
Zay is S-tier. Bangladeshi and Bajan. Okay, Guyanese. Guyanese. She's Guyanese and Bangladeshi. So the food, and then also the tunes were tuning all of that. It was 6 minutes from the crib, so you know where that is. So and then the next day, Crystal, Jean, and I go to the Liberty game.
Yes, y'all were being famous.
By default. So I'll tell you why. So she's like, we going to the Liberty game. They in the finals, blah, 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 blah. Now, I used to be an avid basketball fan. Avid. But in my, in the last decade and a half, I've been consumed with, taking care of myself. So I haven't really been able to keep up like I used to. I don't know who's in the NBA anymore. I don't know who's playing. I just lost touch, but I know the game.
Yeah.
So Crystal Jean, because when football comes on, I don't give a fuck. She thought that I just was not well versed in sports. We get to the game and halfway through the first quarter, she's like, basketball, Jade, is fun. I was like, bitch, I know the game, bitch. I was like, I'm gonna get into this shit. I just don't have time to watch it. Ellie, the elephant, the greatest fucking mascot ever known to man. So if you saw the video that I posted on my Instagram of Ellie dressed as Little Kim, who performed at halftime, by the way. And yes, Ellie also did the Little Kim dance.
I saw it. They posted it on the Liberties.
When Ellie is rapping TikTok. Crush on You, Crystal Jean was filming her. We were rapping Crush on You to each other. So I was matching her energy and we were standing up rapping Crush on You to each other. Also, yes, it was famous by default because of where we were sitting. Tierra Whack is right behind me and she's a time. Do you hear me? Okay. I love Tierra Whack. And Tierra Whack, we enjoyed each other because one girl fell and I was like, dramatic! And she the way she fell, because she goes slide all across. And I was like, that was very dramatic.
Oh my God.
We're having a time. We're in the section. I don't realize how many people are here, but let me go back because we were in the restaurant part of the people who get to sit on the floor. They got a restaurant in the Barclays. So we in the restaurant part eating and drinking before we go down to the game. So these two white people sit next to us and they clearly didn't like our loud nigga conversation. So they got up swiftly to move somewhere else. So another white man and presumably his daughter sit next to us. On the other side of us are two fabulous black women who, of course, we both overhear each other's conversations and we're having a time. Come to find out, one of them is like a manager at Tatiana, the new restaurant here in Lincoln Center that I have been vying to get reservations for. She was like, wait, no more. We exchanged numbers. I was like, bitch, this was ordained. So the white man and his daughter on the other side of us, they ain't paying us no attention. And we're not paying them no attention. Finally, the other girls get up. It's about time for people to start going down to the game. And the white man turns to me and Crystal and he's like, so you think we're going to win? And we're both like, yeah, of course we're going to win. And he was like, I said, do you think we're going to win? And he was like, I don't know. And I said, well, with that attitude, I was like, it stinks. I was like, I need you to get better. And he was like, we're going to win. He flipped it. I was like, okay, that's what I like to hear. Later on, we down, they show all the famous people that are at the game on the Jumbotron. The white man comes up And first, they play a clip from his movie. He's in a movie with Jamie Lee Curtis and somebody else. As his name is Michael Shannon, I think. So I think that's his name. Let me look. Hold on. Michael Shannon. So they play a clip from his movie, and then they show him, and they put the little Michael Shannon. He waves to the crowd, and Crystal goes, "That's the white man that was." I said, "That's what I told him to fix his attitude." I was like, "Well, he was talking to us first, so it was par for the course." But yeah, it was that was actually a really, really fun ass time. I hadn't been to a game in a long time, and that was a really good game to be at. Shout out to the Liberty won, so they go to game 4, I believe, or 5. They played the Las Vegas Aces, and they're also a very good team, very good. Got some nice ball handling skills, and it was good. It was a good game. It was a fun time. So that was my weekend. That's what I've been doing.
That's fab.
And Illuminating Intersectionality came out.
It did. It did.
All of our hard work there on the forefront. Make sure you all go listen to all 3 episodes. Run those numbers up. Rate 5 stars. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, whatever all the fucking shit is. Do it. But listen to the conversations because they're actually really good. They're like all 3 of them are really good. It's really been nice hosting Getting Grown with Kia because that academia world is different for your girl. And I'm like, oh, see, this is more relatable. Like, I understand when we talk about it in this way. So yeah, make sure you all check out all 3 episodes of Illuminating Intersectionality, as well as Jade and XD's bonus episode that is sponsored by Target and Black Beyond Measure, where we do some HBCU alternative history facts, as well as a battle rap between W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington.
Yeah, we do. With that being said, thank you all for listening each and every week. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Where we at, who we are, and who we be. Subscribe to us on Patreon, $9.99. We are having a wang dang motherfucking doodle the last few weeks.
Patreon is where it's at, nigga. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yes, we've been having a time, and it's about to crank up even more. So, don't miss out.
No.
If you don't have the coinage right now, I hear you. But what everybody can do for free 99 is subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/JadenXD. Hit that subscribe button, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification button.
Yeah.
Or in general, just comment and like everything that we post on social, because all those numbers help us a lot.
Every time.
Yeah, and check your description box wherever you're listening, because there's a Linktree link in there, and it has links to everything we have, sponsors, all the good shit we talk about here, and how to support the show. So with that being said, let's take a little breaky break.
Breski.
And be back with more Jaden XD. Hit it, Grammy Award winning Claude Kelly.
Bang.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
And this episode is sponsored by HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. A crazy schedule can make it easy to fall back into your dinner time recipe rut. Keep mealtime exciting with over 40 recipes to choose from every week, so there's always something delicious to discover with HelloFresh. Trust me. And with so many in-season ingredients, you'll taste all of the freshness of fall in every bite of HelloFresh's chef-crafted recipes. And produce travels from the farm to your door for peak ripeness you can taste. I am not lying when I'm saying this, because Let me tell you, the other night I had cooked for Chris Rogers. We had this cat. I don't know the name of the pasta, but HelloFresh makes it so cute and stuff that you don't really need to know the name because they list everything for you and how to package it because we get the family size because, we're growing boys. Anywho, it was like this turkey sauce or this chicken sausage situation. And they even got me to eat sour cream, y'all. And you know how much I hate sour cream. But it was so good. I'm telling you, go down to hellofresh.com/50JXD and use code 50JXD for 50% off plus free shipping. Now again, go to hellofresh.com/50JXD and use code 50JXD for 50% off plus free shipping. And that's HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. What do you call a person who speaks 3 languages? Trilingual. Someone who speaks 2, bilingual. Someone who speaks 1, American. Only 22% of Americans speak a language other than English at home. Start learning a new language this fall and be the exception, not the rule. Because with Babbel, you start speaking a new language in just 3 weeks. This fall, you can start speaking a new language with Babbel. Why Babbel? Because it works. Instead of paying hundreds of dollars for a private tutor or fooling yourself with language apps that are little more than games, Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are designed by over 150 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Babbel is designed by real people for real conversations. All of Babbel's tips and tools of learning a new language are approachable, accessible, rooted in real-life situations, and delivered in conversation-based teaching. And for me, Babbel has been super easy. I recently moved to a new neighborhood, and where my Spanish was a little rusty, I used Babbel, and now I can do my Angelinos proud. Now, studies from Yale, Michigan State University, and others continue to prove Babbel is better. For instance, one study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. With over 10 million subscriptions sold, Babbel is a real language learning for real conversations. Here's a special limited time deal for our listeners to get you started right now. Get 55% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/JXD. Get 55% off at babbel.com/JXD, spelled BABBEL.com/JXD. Rules and restrictions may apply.
This episode is sponsored by Starbucks. I know we don't want to kick summer out the door too quick, but I can't lie. Something about fall really does it for me. I love summer. Don't get me wrong, I love summer. But fall is my favorite child, if I'm being honest. In the words of XD, it's Diane Keaton season, which means it's time to pull out the cozies, lace up those boots, and sashay down to Starbucks for my new favorite beverage, the iced apple crisp Oatmilk shaken espresso. Yes, you heard me. Now, I might be biased because I love all things apple. Go ahead and pair that with the flavors of cinnamon, brown sugar, blonde espresso, creamy oat milk, and in my eyes, it's a winner, baby. Now, I know we all go up for a specific flavor closely associated with autumn. Hi, pumpkin. But switch it up. Try something new like you did with that haircut and get yourself an iced apple crisp oat milk shaken espresso. And here's a tip. If you're like me and love convenience, skip that line and order ahead on the Starbucks app. You'll thank me later.
Hi, this segment is brought to you by Target and Black Beyond Measure. It's that time of year again to bring the HBCU energy. Target has you covered from a range of Black-owned or founded products alongside impactful opportunities to support and invest in the next generation of HBCU excellence. Lock in with Target this homecoming season and beyond at target.com/blackbeyondmeasure. And of course, Target is also sponsoring the new season of Illuminating Intersectionality featuring Jade, Takia, and Fran.
If I show you. Medical evacuation aircraft flew out of Temeri Airport this afternoon. 8
wounded people following Saturday afternoon's shooting, but left 5 Americans dead, including Congressman Leo Ryan. A United States Embassy spokesman said the wounded persons will be flown to either Andrews Airport.
And we're black, doot 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 doot. And we're black, doot 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 doot. And we're black, doot 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 doot. And we're black, doot 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 doot.
Dance break.
Yeah.
See, you can only see that at Patreon. Oh shit! That's what I get for being ugly. That's what I get for being ugly.
Oh my goodness gracious! I've been really trying to figure out the rant that I had.
Was it about Golden Gate or
Maybe it was about Golden. What happened?
Y'all asked for more cult shit. I got cult shit for you. Okay.
Oh yes. You're supposed to tell me yes.
Okay, so I'm tell. So I might as well just tell. You know what?
Yeah, tell me.
It's a fuck it day.
Yeah.
So I watched this documentary last night. Hold on, let me see what it's called. Because I said I've really got to get a little bit out of watching so much drag at one time, and go back to my murder shit.
Oh, see, I don't watch drag.
Oh, I do. I watch it. It is like my default.
I watch. Because it's so much, and because it's in LA when it's in season, it's everywhere. So because Drag Race is an LA show.
Oh yeah,
I don't really.
You're inundated, so you need a break sometimes. Okay, I watched Jamestown, the women behind the massacre. So this was about.
I like when women kill. Oh, I shouldn't
yeah.
say that.
Well,
but yeah,
y'all know what we mean. You're not here for. Don't do that. So because I did have thoughts, but I'll get to that. Mm-hmm. So it is about the obviously the Jamestown massacre.
And Jim Jones, not to be confused with the certified gangster.
No, not Pumkash's son. This is Jim Jones, the cult leader.
I am 24 years of age right now and don't expect to live. I thought I should make some attempt to let the world know what the People's Temple is. Jim Jones is everything to me.
Everyone stood in a line.
First and foremost, did you know that his organization started, or his religious awakening, they started by being a social justice movement? Did you know that?
No.
Child, let me break it down for you. fuck what we said we was talking about today.
Yeah.
So
because now I have a bunch of questions, but go on. I'm sure I'll
okay, hold on. First of all, let's pull up the name of the actual religious organization. Jim Jones. It's like the People's. Hold on. The People's Temple. Okay. All right. So he started this church.
Where this documentary is where?
Hulu.
Okay, I could watch it tonight.
Yes. Okay, so it starts. So Jim Jones is originally from Indiana, I believe. Now it starts with him and his wife. They start this little church. Okay, the People's Temple, and it was a Christian church. And then it kind of got evangelical, but not in the right-wing way. It was a lot of also like praise dancing and like healing, laying hands. And his whole goal in starting the church was to start a multicultural like place of religious safety, because Black people were being treated so poorly, and he wanted a place where everybody could worship together. And then also they were involved in like social justice activities and so forth. I was like, I had no fucking clue. So then they expand out. So Then they moved to the Redwoods, to California, and the People's Temple there. This is where he started wilding a little bit. I hear myself, by the way. This would start wilding a little bit because he started sleeping with women in the church, but he then justified it to his wife like these are things he needs. They alluded to his wife having some mental health issues and him having endured this relationship for all this time. Also, mind you, his wife's name is like Marjorie or Majorie or something with an M.
It was Marjorie, yeah.
Marjorie. Mind you, their son is in this documentary. Yes, he's in it.
Right, because this happened in like the 70s. It didn't happen like far away, right?
No, not at all. Yeah. So I feel like 78 or 79 or something is when the actual massacres happened. He started the church, like he started this movement in 1955, but it went on for all this time. So they expand out of Indiana, move to the Redwoods. And this is where he starts sleeping with women. He's being a little bit more like, flamboyant with it, to the point where his wife writes this letter to the church. Mind you, she hated this shit, but she writes a letter to the church basically saying like, I will no longer feel a way about him sleeping with other women because I know that is for the greater good of what we're doing and so forth and so on. What? So he's wooing these young women in this church and they all white and that was strategic. That they were white because of the injustices that Black people faced or something along those lines. So they were like, he doesn't want to be accused of taking advantage of Black women. So it was only white women, but then only the white women would be the ones who end up in leadership. Because they got some Black people. Because remember, this was a multicultural movement. So during a heightened time, as if we don't live in one now, but you know what I mean, in the 60s and 70s. So there were Black people who were very much a part of this and are also a part of this documentary. So.
Hold on. Wait. Let me backtrack. So Indiana starts a church, which it didn't ATF or that other, the shiny, happy people, didn't that start in Indiana?
Was that Indiana or was that like Utah or... Hold on. The Duggars?
Yeah, but that was like... But I remember...
Let me see.
Jade
Goddard, they got some new shit. Ooh, they got some family drama going on. We'll get to that afterwards. Make sure...
Oh, yeah, because her book came out. What's her face? The daughter.
Okay, let's look up the that drama once we're done with this. Hold on. They started out, I'm trying to find basic. Yes, we know basic.
So, yeah.
Arkansas.
Okay.
I mean, same shit. Indiana.
Yeah,
Arkansas.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, if it was the same, like, you know what I mean? But then, because that's super predatory, right? And I feel like a lot of.
Well, so the difference is the IBS people. The irritable Bible syndrome people, they are evangelical, right-wing, conservative. Jim Jones was like, fuck the system. It's not treating Black people right. This needs to be a place where we can worship together and also fight for social justice causes. He started talking about sex, but that was to justify his own shit. Like, it was not conservative. And also, but his way of manipulation was the fake healings.
Got it. Okay.
So
we're up to the Black people now.
They're a part. They've been a part. And like that was a part. So the women that he took advantage of and like was sleeping with and eventually was having these relationships with, those women joined this church initially because they were like hippie white women who wanted to fight for good causes. Because they have two of the women who are who are part of this 4 women who are responsible for the massacre, their sister is in the documentary. Jim Jones and Marjorie's son is in the documentary, and a couple Black people who was a part of the People's Temple are in the documentary, like speaking on their experiences. So, move to the Redwoods. These girls are like falling in love with him. The son recalls like when one of the first mistresses started becoming his mistress because he was like, my father brought me to the house and I thought we were spending quality time, but he goes up to her room and then I figured out what they was doing and wah, 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 wah. Mind you, that lady was married. Her husband ends up getting a divorce from her and she just becomes like Jim Jones' mistress. Then she gets her sister to join and move there. Her sister becomes another one of the mistresses, sister wives for real, for real. And then like 2 more. So it ends up being 4 of them. Now they got caught up in a scandal in the Redwoods. So it was some kind, I think the scandal was with the fake healings. And also somebody wrote an article on them and like it started blowing up. And so it was like, he basically was like, we got to get out of Dodge. But he didn't say that. He was like, I have a place where we can go. Let me take you down to Kokomo. And it's the promised land. And it was Guyana. So this nigga goes to like a quote unquote remote part of Guyana in the jungle, which I don't consider anything of any African or Latin descent to be vacant. But anyway, goes and gets this like part of the jungle, turns it into this compound for the People's Temple, and then tells all the people, like, come here. He was trying to get away from California because of the article. So come here's the promised land. But they said when he had originally told them about coming down to Jonestown, it was temporary. It was like, this is a place to clear your head and this is where we can really be together, you know, all cultures, all backgrounds, all races, and we can live and we can be peaceful. We're living in the jungle and the children are learning about animals, but it's a cult at this point because they don't want nobody to leave. So they get down to Jonestown, they set up this compound, and that's when he starts doing suicide drills on the compound, telling the people, because he's like, the government is after us and it's better for us to be free in this way than to be taken by the government and da-da-da-da-da. So they start doing drills, okay? Mind you, one of the sisters, part of the 4 women, was a nurse. So they're finding all of these different remedies and ways. Also, by this point, this nigga had become a full-blown drug addict. That is important. Because they said barbiturates is what he was addicted to. Was that Quaaludes? So so he is like drugged out. They have like because they would film things and all of that.
How would he get them? Well, I guess that doesn't.
One is a nurse. You know, you can get all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
So,
when you are religious in power, you can get anything.
So they be shooting him up. Like the women would be shooting him up. Like when he would speak, and they have his actual like some of the commentary from like when he would be on the compound. Nigga was slurring his words when he was making the announcements, all kinds of things. So that's another important fact, that he was high out of his motherfucking mind. And so had these 4 bitches banded together and been like, we're not fucking doing this, then it wouldn't have been carried out. Because he didn't have the physical ability. Now, this is not taking the responsibility off of him because he is the original predator. But he became incapacitated in a way. And they are the ones who had to carry out all of these like visions, all of these things he's saying need to be done. So they start doing these suicide drills. This nigga's high out of his motherfucking mind. His son happened to be playing basketball the day that everything happened. Now, mind you, one girl escapes, goes to another part of Guyana, goes to the consulate, is like, I need to get the fuck out of here. I want to go home. They're doing suicide drills. I want to live. Like, I can't deal with this. I want to go. They got wind that she went. So they send some reporters down because now they've gotten, they're getting reports about them. So they send some reporters down, three or four reporters they send down to Jamestown. This after they've been doing these suicide drills, after they've been living off the land, doing all these things in the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
The day the reporters come, the reporters, interview them. They have the footage. The reporters are like, well, is there anybody who wants to leave? And then, so they're like, it's two large families that had like 6 kids each or some shit like that. Was like, us, we want to get the fuck ASAP. We ain't been able to get the fuck up out of here. Get us out of here. Nigga, do you, so they have the footage of those, and when I tell you them reporters are, who wants to leave? Yes, they throw their hands. These niggas are grabbing their shit and running. Like, it was like, oh, y'all really want to get out of here. And they're like, bring those kids back. You don't need to leave. You leave those kids here. So forth and so on. Some couples actually left their children there. Important to note. Oh, wait. Just you wait. Just you fucking wait. So the reporters take the families and they're going to like a port so that they could leave. Do you know these motherfuckers gunned the reporters down?
Those of us on the ground scrambled for cover. I tried to dive to position my head behind a wheel of one of the planes, but as I hit the ground, bullets hit my left arm and wrist, and discovered.
Wait, the families did?
Just
Jim Jones's people.
What do they call the people? The white nation of Islam, whatever you want to call them. Like
the people's temple.
The People's Temple. The fuck? Girl, I didn't ask them about no beef jerky. The People's Temple gunned the reporters down, all 4 of them. So when they were trying to leave and take those families. So once those reporters.
Sounds like Gilead to me.
It's very like real Handmaid's Tale. So should we take a break and then I come back and tell you the rest?
Yes, actually.
Yes, let's do that.
Hit it, Claude.
Yeah.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Once again, this segment was brought to you by Target and Black Beyond Measure. Target has you covered from a range of Black-owned or founded products alongside impactful opportunities to support and invest in the next generation of HBCU excellence. Lock in with Target this homecoming season and beyond at target.com/blackbeyondmeasure.
Panama Canal. The injured on board were part of a group of American citizens who were visiting the Jamestown agricultural settlement in Port Kaituma on Saturday when a group opened fire on them. The 4 others killed in the shooting were NBC reporters
Down inside of love.
And we're back. I'm talking to XD about the documentary on Hulu called Jonestown, The Women Behind the Massacres. About the 4 women who assisted and aided Jim Jones in the Jonestown massacres. So last I told you, they gunned the family. They gunned the reporters down. So at this point, the government gets wind and has to send people, they're like, okay, now reporters got gunned down. This is an issue. We got to move in.
Mm-hmm.
They get wind that the government is coming. And those suicide drills, they were like, all right, it is time. But the people never know if it's like a drill or what's the case. Look, perfect soundtrack. So, obviously you all know, don't drink the Koolaid. That is from the Jonestown massacres because they put an entire vat of cyanide into Koolaid. And they had this pavilion, which was like the centralized location to meet up. And they made the announcement, everybody come to the pavilion immediately. They didn't want survivors to come out of this. So they come to the pavilion and you can hear them giving the instructions. Give this to your children, give this to the babies and the children, and have them drink it first. And then you hear the babies and the children crying, and they're like, don't worry, they're not crying from pain. They're crying just because it's a little bit bitter, but like they're not in any pain whatsoever. So they had them kill the children first and then drink the Kool-Aid themselves. And then after everybody drank the Kool-Aid, then the last girl of the 4 women, one of them is Marjorie, but the last girl of the 4 women goes to the cabin with Jim Jones. Jim Jones has her shoot him, and then she drinks the Koolaid, and then she dies. So she's like presumably like the last person or one of the last, people who died or whatever.
We can't go back. There's nowhere to go back to. So our time is up. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's just stepping over to the other side. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
So 900 and something people died. I didn't realize it was that large.
Fucking
900 and something people. 304 of them were children and babies. And
That's
like
so gross.
78 people survived.
Wow.
Crazy. And like I said, Jim Jones' son, Jim Jones and Marjorie's son was off playing basketball somewhere else in Guyana when all this happened. So he didn't die.
And what was his rationale for all this?
He really was speaking from a human standpoint he was speaking from his standpoint and observations of his parents through this trajectory. So it was less opinionated and more like this was my perspective from where I sat of what was going on. So it wasn't justification. Like he talked about his father's ego inflating and when it started happening and, how he felt about him. His mother's thing. Like he just spoke from like, this is where my vantage point and this is what I was seeing and this is how I took it. Crazy. But, I walked away at the end and I was like, I feel 2 ways. Women are always blamed. Somehow the responsibility always falls on women for shit. And it's like,
of course.
No, that nigga was a monster. But also there are points to the fact that if this person is drugged out, at a certain point, like rationale got to kick in and be like, oh, this ain't the move. But this person is also responsible for brainwashing you all this time. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately it's still his fault. So I was like, women are, but then my second thought, but white women are a special kind of dangerous. Since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And I'm not applying that same logic.
So it's one of those 2 things can be true.
Two things can be true at the same time. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me see what the
brainwashing is so interesting. Was I talking to you about that lady on TikTok? No, I was on Instagram Live this week and I was talking about it. So this Black woman, she did this experiment where she only listened to Megan Thee Stallion for 30 days. Like that's the only media she consumed.
Okay.
No television, no anything else. Or if it was television, it was Megan Thee Stallion centered.
Okay.
And then she journaled. Oh my gosh.
Don't tell me it's another high-speed chase outside.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
11, 12,
10, 11, 12 cop cars.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
Like stationary or driving?
No, driving.
Quickly?
And Chris Rogers is home too. I should ask him, like, do you see this shit?
I told you to download Citizen. Which
this
reminds
is 2
me, I
days
had
in a
all
row.
these helicopters from last night and today. I need to see what's going on in the area. Okay, keep going.
Damn, that was crazy. So this Black woman, she only consumed Megan's stuff. And then she recorded her findings, and then she moved on and she consumed nothing but Dolly Parton. Nothing but her music and stuff. And what she realized is she was trying to figure out what her feelings and stuff was like. And so it was interesting because after she listened to The Stallion for 30 days, she said it altered how she thought and how she thought about herself and her physical appearance and as a plus size woman, and inspired her to go to the gym. to make a physical change about herself. So then, after listening to Dolly for 30 days, she was like, I've thought and changed my whole perspective on love and men and relationships because Dolly writes in a specific type of way. And she was, the woman was explaining how, I think it's called symbolics or CYM something. And it's essentially, she was like, if listening to Megan Thee Stallion for 30 days can alter or invoke something in me to alter myself physically, then imagine what media is doing to us with the whole multimedia blitz of things.
You remember that episode of Boondocks where Huey only consumed BET for a month? Like literally just sat there for a month, 2 weeks, something like that, 10 days. But he said he only consumed BET. I'm not. I don't think it can't alter your.
Oh, I think
it also depends on your grounding. Like, what are your self practices to keep yourself grounded? And
no, I believe people can be brainwashed because
980 something motherfuckers died in Guyana. Of course
like there's an episode of The Simpsons when they had joined the Navy, played backwards, and they did it behind like a song. And it was like Ivanet Niyaz.
Oh, I remember that.
Ivanet Niyaz. You gotta love that crazy chorus.
What does it mean?
It doesn't mean anything. It's like Ramalama Ding Dong or Give Peace a Chance.
When they were trying to record people from the Navy after 9/11. So
The Simpsons is a place.
Yeah. I loved them. They were my South Park until they weren't, because South Park then became South Park.
Yeah. And then I was over that after. And then Family Guy was cool. And then I was over that.
Yeah. Animation is cool until they not like, did you ever finish or did you ever watch BoJack Horseman?
No, I never. I need to. I've always said I needed to, but I just never did yet.
This is why I say people, if you make things in animation, you can get away with a lot of shit. Why was a horse in an underage relationship with like?
Have you ever watched? The one on Big Mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yeah, it's not my.
Hello.
It's not my.
But it speaks to your point.
Yeah, it does.
Speaking of underage relationships, oh my God. So after I watched the Jamestown murders massacre, then an old Jeffrey Dahmer, when maybe it was 2020 or one of those came on, where he was actually a part of it and they interviewed him before he died in prison. I don't think I ever looked at the full ins and outs of the Jeffrey Dahmer murders.
No, because it's very it's fucking scary. He only targeted black people.
Well, no, that's actually not true.
Well, yeah, that's untrue.
Yeah,
Gabe. Now I think about it, but like,
no, it was sick. Okay, you want some more true crime? Is this just the beginning of spooky season? So I never knew the full ins and outs of Jeffrey Dahmer. Like we knew that he did some sick shit, right?
He liked the black boys.
No, no, he just liked the boys. No, that's actually so. Jeffrey Dahmer needed some help from early. His father was also a part of this special. So his father spoke on how, like, as a child, he just had a general curiosity with animals. Like, he's like, I didn't notice anything sinister. We did, like, the curiosity that he had didn't give me cause for concern until it did. He was like, when I had a little ding go off was when I was collecting some small bones of animals that had died underneath our house. and I would collect them in one place so that I could, dispose of them after a while. And he said something about the clinking of the bones on the, like, Jeffrey was like a little too into that. And that's when he was like, Now, what the parents didn't realize at the time was also he was struggling with his sexuality. So obviously he was having feelings for other boys and men. And this is still while I think he's in junior high or high school at this point. So he's having feelings for boys and men, but can't do nothing with it, or doesn't think he can do anything with it. But he also realized that he had, like, there was something in him that was a little different. So he made a plan to knock a jogger. There's a jogger that would jog by often, and he was going to knock him out and just lay with him. That's what he wanted to do, but he didn't go through with it.
Very Moonlight. See white people.
I'm going to knock you out and feed you a pork chop.
I just want to lay.
I just want to lay. And that's all he wanted to do. He just wanted to lay. So the one day that he planned to do it was the one day the jogger didn't run by, and he was like, all right, well, let that moment pass or whatever. But he committed his first murder as soon as he graduated from high school. So then he started exploring a little bit more. Ended up going to the Navy, like leaned out, started going to the gay clubs, moved in with his grandmother. His father was like, you got to do something with yourself. So that's when he went to the Navy, started living with his grandmother. And then his grandmother found this doll that he had in his closet. It was a mannequin of a man that he would do sexual acts to. And then she found the doll in the closet and was like, nigga, you got to get this sick shit out of my house. Kink shaming. So
yeah, she was kink shaming.
That's kink shaming. We're going to call it what it is. So he started exploring the gay nightlife, right? So you think...
He loved the nightlife. He liked to boogie on the disco. Yeah.
So he started exploring the nightlife. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm gonna go out. So you think that's where he would, like, now he's can be his full self. You think that would satiate? It did not, because this nigga had issues that his parents should have addressed from early. So started going out. He would take niggas back, not just niggas. It was all kinds of people. Take them back to the crib. And then he'd either like knock them out or whatever he did, strangle them. Because the thing about him was he did not want to hurt them. He didn't want to torture. He said strangling was the most, kindest way, weird, to, like, it's the least amount of torture or whatever. But he wanted to do something that would instantly knock him out because he was actually a necrophiliac. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yes. Jeffrey Dahmer was a necrophiliac. For those who don't know what a necrophiliac is, it's a person who likes to have sex with dead bodies or people who are, dead bodies. Which is why he had that whole thing about wanting to knock people out and just lay with them. So he would knock these niggas out and then have sex with their bodies or whatever. Then he started getting more egregious with. So the first person he killed, the first nigga he brought home and killed, he bagged him up in a trash bag. And in the middle of the night, he was driving to the dumpster. He started veering a little bit. The nigga gets pulled over on the way to the dumpster, to the the trash field, whatever the shit is called.
The landfill.
Yeah. So gets pulled over. You're veering, sir. Now, they said Jeffrey was very charming, okay? Even though he was a little antisocial and awkward, he still was also very charming, and he started working on that from young in school. So when he got pulled over, he was like, oh, no. He was like, no, I got a little tired, and I'm on my way to the dumpster because, I just was having a restless night, but I'm still tired. So I said, let me do something productive and clean some things out. They gave him a ticket and let him go. So he goes dispose of the body, but continues to do this shit. Almost gets caught again because he brought somebody in, started drugging people too. Drugged them. The boy runs out into the street naked. Mind you, this is a minor. This is like a 14-year-old. Runs out into the street naked now. So if they play a clip from the person who called the police to tell them that there's a naked man in the street because they assumed that this person was of age. And it was a black lady. And she was like, he out here butt naked. His drawers is around his ankles. I'm sorry.
I'm assuming that's what Niecy Nash played in the Dahmer miniseries.
I don't know.
Because that was his neighbor. Because she plays his neighbor in the
Oh, I know. Okay, the neighbor. So the black neighbor.
Well, I think it's a fight going on next door, and somebody is either being hurt or killed.
Can you go make sure?
What? No, I can't. I said I think somebody is being killed. I ain't going next door.
We'll send a car.
She was like, I was always smelling something, and I was down there saying, who's cooking them chitlins? Because chitlins have a specific smell.
Mm-hmm.
She was in there too. When you just said it. Okay, that makes sense. No, this was somebody on the phone who was just like, there's a man running butt naked in the street. So the police come, take him back. Like Jeffrey comes out and he's like, oh, this is my partner. We're having, he got drunk and I'm trying to get him back in the house and I'm trying to, and he's just a little belligerent. And the police wrote it off as just like a lover's spat, left, and he kills the boy. Now, he was a pedophile in the sense where a couple of these victims were teenage boys, 13 years old, 14 years old, 15 years old. But then some of them were grown men. So he just needed to get his jollies off. And this is not a justification, so I do not want it to come off like that.
Right.
But he wanted to get his jollies off with whoever he could. And the point was always, and that's where I was telling you, I always thought it was just black men too. But they were black, they were white, they were Asian. They were all
boys.
Yeah, they were just all
male.
But some of them were boys, which is what was really sad about it. Until he finally got caught, you know what I'm saying? And because I think I can't remember. I don't remember that part of it. I can't break this down for you like the Jamestown. But the shit was crazy. And I'd never, because I didn't watch the Dahmer series because I was like, they romanticizing this white man's murders. And I'm not with that. This was like the 2020 special. So when they were talking, it was like they weren't romanticizing it, but they were painting for what it, how some people like, I just want to kill because that's what I got in me. Like with him, it wasn't like, I don't want to kill, but my ultimate goal is to lay and have sex with your dead body. So we got to get here somehow, but I don't want you to suffer in the interim. It's very odd. So yes, that was my first bit of a dive into Jeffrey Dahmer because I just knew him to be one of our most known serial killers. And we know that it had something to do with bodies. And we've always been told that it was black men, but I've learned a little bit more. Very fascinating.
Wow. We might as well end today on that.
Sorry, y'all. I
Murder mayhem.
Brought that all the way down.
Nah, I feel, with true crime is it.
It's October. It's spooky season. We'll just maybe we'll watch the massacres with you all with the Patreon in a live watch. What do you?
Yeah.
Let us know how you feel about that.
Yeah, something spooky because I can't do the scary movies, but I could do a true crime 2020 Dateline doc situation.
Oh, I think the Jamestown massacres, the 4 women.
I was gonna watch that on my own, but okay. If we want to watch it with
we could also do that. Whatever. There's plenty of shit that we can get into.
Yeah, but a live watch soon come. Until next time, friends. Bye.
Yes, we're moving